All right, guys, we're live. Welcome to the Texasrider Show with Mothership Products. Uh,
Hello.
my dad, Wizard Sands, and Biker's Basements, Mike DeChelli. How you guys
So,
doing today?
hey, we're all good.
That's good. So
Absolutely.
Biker's Basement is not going to show up, but he's going to be doing some words.
He's got a face
Hold on
for
a second.
what is it? A face for radio? Is that
Let
what
me
they
turn
say,
this down
Mike?
here.
Yeah,
There we go. Now I can hear myself.
that's what they say.
He's going to be doing the chat. If anybody has any questions, uh, Mike's going to look on there and he's going to relate it to us and we'll answer them from there. We're going to do just kind of a hangout, stories, all that, not all that other stuff. And so, first, Dwayne, what's going on with you this week? Did you find anything fun in the storage units or?
I was sick this week. I had the flu, but not the bad one, not the big C. Don't
Oh,
have
that's,
that.
don't say a big C.
Yeah, the big C. I don't have that one. So, but I do have seasonal influenza is what I was treated for. So, I did a whole lot of not much this week. I did a lot of thinking and doing some stuff with my bike. Today I figured out what front tire I wanted to get and ordered a front tire for it. So, but in the storage units, I haven't bought one. I bought one like a week and a half ago, and I haven't found anything motorcycle related at this point. But I am still, going through stuff, and like I said before, Mike Tuccelli there. Anything that I do get bike related, he already gets first chance at it, and he usually buys the damn stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see if anything ever makes it to market.
You never know, right? Have you? So I guess since you've been sick, you haven't been working on your bike any.
No, I tried. I really tried, but my wife was like, she said no. She said you need to take it easy. No working. So I had to listen to her. Plus, I'd rather do that than be laid up even more. So
yeah, you got to listen to her. Yeah.
Why don't we give a shout out to the people that have joined on in here and say how's it going? Say hey, Killer Whale. Hey, so get this, Nunya effing Biz, Miss Southern Belle, and Biker Basement. So we're all good.
absolutely.
Glad to have you with us.
Yeah, I've been in Killer Whale's stream, stuff like that, and that's where I met him through. And this is the first time it looks like he's been on my show. So welcome, Killer Whale. We have a let's see, Miss Southern Belle. How's it going? If you guys have any questions, biker related, just let us know, and Biker's Basement will talk to us and we'll answer the questions. So Wizard Sands, this is my dad here. He's the one that kind of got me. He kind of got me started into motorcycles, but he has a long line of stories that since he's been around for a while. He's 73 now, so
this is all your fault,
man.
Yeah, this is all my fault.
This is all your fault.
I'm doing all this. Yeah,
that's it.
So
blame me.
That's right.
But real quick story on my end is it was me, my dad, and another Dwayne actually that we know. We went to Vegas in 2001, and while Dwayne was kind of playing the slots and all that, and my dad's like, you know what, let's rent out a bike. This will be kind of a if you're kind of interested in it, we'll go there. And we went to the dealership. We rented out a bike for about a day. I guess it was a couple hours, right? Something like that.
No, we rented it for most of the day.
Oh, was it? So
Yeah.
we went down. We went down through the valley area and just where nobody. We found this open parking lot, and we just he got off, and he's like, okay, give it gas. Just practicing and all that. And after that, I just fell in love with it from there. We got back. As soon as we get back to Houston, we got bikes. So
yeah, that's cool.
That's a little quick story on kind of how we got started, or how I got started.
Well, actually, that's not quite true. He got started because when he was about, he must have been 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, we had
I bought him a little Indian mini bike. I wish I still had that.
Hold on
little
a
Indian
second.
mini bike.
Hold on a second. Because now that you mentioned the Indian, I remember that. But my next door neighbor that used to live there, he had one that was just like mine. It wasn't running, and I kind of wish we still had that because that thing was worth money right now.
Oh yeah, exactly. But he brought it and he was riding it, and I thought that okay, he's gonna grow up to be a biker guy, and he ran it into a pole and into a fence, and he didn't get hurt, but you know it kind of scared him a little bit, and I thought, oh no.
I hit that pole, and I'm like, what in the world? And then it sat by that house for how long? I mean, for probably about 4 or 5 more years after that because I didn't touch it.
Hi,
But,
Miss Canadian Scrapper.
hey, how you doing? We have 10 people watching right now.
Awesome.
So how did you get to, before I came around, how did you get to, into bikes and all that?
Well, growing up, people in my neighborhood when I was a kid, 11, 12 years old, in the neighborhood, people had the old Cushman Eagles. And so I got to ride on those, and I kind of liked it. And then I went into the military, and I got out of the military, and I moved to California. And I got a friend that I went to work at a bowling center, and the guy that worked there at the bowling center with me, and it's a long story, but anyway, to make a long story short, we became really good friends, and come to find out that his nickname was Lame because he couldn't open and close his left hand, so he couldn't run a clutch. So he had the clutch and throttle on his right hand, and he had a Harley Panhead at the time, and he said, "Here, you want to go ride it?" And I said, "Sure." And I kind of fell in love with it, and he helped me get my first bike and customize it and everything. I had a shovel head, and it was had a 12-inch overextended front end, 3/4-inch rake, hardtail.
Wow.
In 1969, I rode it to Sturgis and back from Long Beach, California.
Wow.
That's all. I bet you that was rough.
Oh yeah.
You're probably sore back after that.
Oh, kidneys hurt.
Yep.
So, Mike, when did you start riding?
I started riding in high school around 72. And
Ooh, that was one.
And
well, I wasn't born yet.
started with a Honda 350, CB350, and then just moved up through the ranks, and then stopped riding when we had the kids, and then started riding again after they kind of left the house, and ended up with a Yamaha triple. And then I went to the second wife, like I had told you guys earlier, had saved up some money to get me a electric glide, and I got an 85 electric glide. And then from there, traded that in or sold that to get a 2001 Scout. And that was the last bike I rode before I got messed up with this MS. So, but I ride every night in my dream.
Hey, that's the only, that's what counts, right?
Yep.
So, Dad, tell them what kind of bike you ride right now.
I have a 2020 Street Glide, but it's a trike. It's converted. It's a converted bike that I had the front end converted. It's got 2 front wheels on the front end that lean when I go into curves. It's called from a company called Tilting Motorworks, and it's a badass bike.
You said you had a video on it, right? That you can pop up.
Yeah. So
we'll set that one up for you real quick.
But yeah, so the last couple of days I've been I haven't been able to work on my bike, but I've been able to do a bunch of research and figure out what I'm going to do. And like I said, today I ordered a front tire because my front tire is pretty bad. And
what size is that tire? Is it a 21-inch or one of the smaller?
It's a 21.
Oh, is 80, it? Okay.
80, 90, 21.
Oh, okay. So, that's what I had. I actually had it on the Sportster. I had a 21-inch, and it was a custom that Wizard had made. And then we're in the process of, once I get everything sold, as far as the parts and stuff, then I'm gonna actually sell the bike too. But we put the original spoke back on there, which is a 19-inch wider tire on there. So that sport still was all customized.
I love spokes. I don't know what it is. That's just to me that means motorcycles. So you guys can have all your mag wheels and stuff. I'll just take my spoke.
Yeah, I mean it does. When I put it back on there, I'm like, man, that does look classic though, you know?
Yeah. It's just the look I like. You know, that's the great thing about motorcycles is, you know, whatever you like, you can make your bike look that way.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all very personal. I mean, anybody can go out and buy a bike and you know off the showroom and just ride it. But you know, I think a true biker is one that makes it his own, whether it's, you know, accenting it with cool, you know, lights or bags or you know whatever you want, hard bags or
like I was saying last night, you know, when we kind of met up or whatever, but you know, it just seems like everybody wants black. So if you're at a huge rally like ours in Galveston, you have a line of just all black bikes. So that's why I kind of picked the midnight blue street glide, you know, and kind of stands out a little bit between the all the black bikes they have.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine's actually a dark blue too, a navy blue.
Yeah. Oh,
mine's black, but it's a flat black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a little popular.
It's what
the bobs, you know,
it's what they call the denim black.
Yeah, they have the denim red, I believe. That's just flat black. It almost looks like it's not even painted, you know, or it has that clear coat on it.
Oh, like it's all primer.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know, I guess that's pretty popular now. Oh, Wizard Bargain Shopper, that's another reseller that we've met in the Mothership Products community. And she says hi.
Well, hi, Bargain Shopper.
Speed is a cool black.
Her name is Carol.
Cool bike, I mean.
Did you bring up that video yet?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay.
So how do I? So I got to go share screen.
Yes, and then click app. But this week I actually had time after work. You know, I'm in the oil field, so no telling what kind of it's like week by week. It just everything went to all the production just went to a halt, you know, and they actually laid people off Friday. And I was the fortunate one that didn't get laid off, so you know, I'm crossing my fingers on that. But at home I had time to at least take the tank off, drain all the gas off, and kind of just don't, you know, if I'm going to sell this thing, I want to make sure it's done right, and that you know, even if it has a little bit of rust inside, I'm going to try to, you know, get all that cleaned out. And it looks like my pit cock isn't working right, so I took that off too. And you know,
see, and that's what I'm saying is it's not really having a bike makes you a biker. It's more, you know, the love you put into it. And like you said, you're going to sell the bike, but you still want to do it right. You know, you don't want to just throw it together and send it off, because you enjoy actually working on the bike.
Yeah, I do.
That's what I do. I enjoy working on it.
Just like that site you hooked us on the other day, Mike and I was like, man, we saw that Sportster for, was it? How much was it? Like $1,300. He's like, as soon as we got off the phone with you, he's like, man, if I had the money right now, I'm gonna try to get my bills paid off, and we're gonna try to get a bike to, and that makes a perfect video, you know? People like to see that stuff.
Yep, I'm all in on that shit.
I mean, you have him hooked on it now, so he's like really starting.
Basically, what it was, guys, is it's a place where you can go and buy wrecked vehicles. You know, whether it's insurance companies put them on, basically on auction, and you know, so they're all kinds in different all arrays of messed up, whether it got laid down or, you know, got hit or the front end's messed up. But you know, you can get things pretty cheap, and then you know, being a biker, you just go out, you buy that, and then you start, you know, putting it back together, take off the good parts, and you can either piece it off and sell it off. Because just because a front end's tore up on a bike, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the motor or the, you know, the rear end or
the electrical.
You know, especially all the James was talking that all the customized, you know, the bags on the side were $300-400, and they were fine. That
Right.
wasn't even touched.
And some of the pictures that I've seen too is like the key, it turns it on, and you can actually see the speedometer on there. And there were some of them that only had like maybe 2,000 miles on it,
Right.
Or they might have went through the flood, or they might have just ran through the water, and flooded it out,
Sure.
But,
So yeah, that's definitely a place for, if you like working on bikes, you could get something like that and piece one together. I mean, buy one or two bikes and piece them together.
Well, our goal is to, once we get the garage cleaned out, we're gonna get a small hand grinder buffer combo, and he's gonna, Mike said he's gonna try to polish the, use his hands. The more he uses his hands, the better it can be for him. So I was like, man, if you can, while I'm working on this engine or whatever I'm doing to the bike, if you can polish the parts, or I'll take them off, give them to you, polish them, and work as a pretty good team over here. It's just.
Did that package show up today?
Which package?
Oh, the package that I sent him with that hand grinder and the.
I don't think so. Not yet.
I'll have to look and see.
Okay.
When it's supposed to be there.
I mean, we did get it.
In the chat.
The what now?
Don Maserati's in the chat.
Hey, yeah. What's going on, Don? Hey, Wizard, Trash or Treasure says hi. She goes by the name Tot, T-O-T.
Okay.
She was on
Trash or Treasure.
She's pretty funny. She's the one that actually got rated that first time that I watched her, when we were talking about.
Okay.
So, real nice lady.
So, well, one of the things about whenever you're doing bikes, James can show you the picture of the bike that I gave him before he traded it in. I did most of the paint in my kitchen. Okay.
I bet your wife is happy about
that. Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I laid it out. I had a guy that was a professional painter, and he helped me do this stuff, but I did all the layout and everything on it. Do you have a picture of it, James?
The flag colors, right?
Yeah, the flag colors.
Yeah,
and
okay.
the
Okay, I've seen that. Yeah, that's a great job. Jeez.
But,
I'm gonna send my tape to you.
See if I can bring it up here. It's that one right there.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did the tank and fenders in my house, my yard. I have a shed in the back, and I did it in there too. But it's not as hard as what people think when you want to go do something like that. All you have to do is just kind of read up on it, go do it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. It's like this last week, I put the accent lights on my bike, and James and I put one on his bike on last Saturday, and then I did mine this week. My wife and I did it since we're both kind of housebound because of this coronavirus. But it's not, once you get it going, it's not as hard as it looks.
Okay.
Hey, James, Tot says Wizard. She says Wizard, Texasrider promised me a whoop tonight.
Okay, so it's funny what she does when she's in her chats, or when she has a live chat like that, what she'll do to everyone as, like, I guess, a greeting. She'll have her middle finger up, like, but not seen yet, and then she'll go like this. She'll go whoop, like that. So
okay.
If everybody can do that. Let's do
Are we all gonna do that?
Yeah.
Are we all gonna do that?
Ready?
Ready, go.
Ready, go. There we go.
I can't do that, guys. It looks just like a fist.
That's okay, Mike. We got it.
We got you taken care of.
Do you have that video popped up, or do you have pictures of that trike that you have? Well, it's like an inverted trike, right? Is what you were saying?
Exactly. It's an inverted trike. Let me see if I can find a picture on my phone.
Okay.
The only bad thing about working on a bike is they can really be a money suck. I mean, you can dump so much money in these things, and I don't have a lot of money, so I have to do it a little piecemeal.
All right, there you go. How's that look?
Why don't you make him big so we can see that?
Okay.
James? Not you.
Not you.
I'm trying to work this thing right. All right, hold on a second. There we go. That's
There we
you.
go.
All right, there you go. That's what the bike looks like.
I like that front fairing. It almost looks like a grill, you know, like off an old hot rod grill.
Yeah, it is. And
Did you show
hang on.
the pictures of you have it lit up with the new lighting kit that you put on?
All right, let me show. See how that bike leans? I
Oh,
go
wow,
into
yeah.
the corners. I go into the corners just like anybody else on two wheels.
Craziness. Yeah, I'm like we were talking. That's got to take some getting used to.
Yeah, it does.
It's well, you know, there's
Yes.
only two places, and he'll tell you about it, but there's only two places that do this work for on these particular bikes. I mean, it can be not just a Harley, it can be a Honda, anything. Isn't that correct? That anybody can put this kit on, not just a Harley, or is it just a Harley only?
No, they make it for the Hondas also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, imagine it matters whatever the triple tree. Make sure as long as it.
Right, for sure. And how many places? And there are two places that allowed it or to be certified to work on this.
Yeah, there's more than two places, but there's only one place here in Texas, and that's Tilting Motorworks in Round Rock. Jim Klein is the owner over there, and he did a fantastic job on the bike. And he got it out. He got it out as promised. So shout out to Jim Klein.
I really thought it was going to take longer because we drove up there. We trailered it up there one weekend, and we dropped it off Saturday.
Right.
And I'm thinking this thing is going to probably take a couple hours or a couple weeks, I would say. And the next Thursday, you got a phone call saying it was already done. I'm like, wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
and this guy put out,
great.
This guy had a bunch of bikes in there that with on top of the lifts and all that, and I mean he probably had a crew of maybe 3 or 4, but that comes priority over everything else, I guess, and he had that thing out quick.
Yeah, he must have had a pretty good assembly line. I mean, he's maybe done enough of those that it's not pretty efficient.
He's done several of them, and there's only like 2 or 3 here in the state of Texas, but he's done some others from New Mexico and Oklahoma and places like that too, Louisiana.
Oh, that's cool. And then the following weekend, me and another guy, Dale, while my dad and my stepmom drove up there. That's another different story right there. He was like, "Oh, you need to keep up." And this guy is going like 85 miles an hour down 290, and we're over here just wanting to cruise. And we end up going to Austin because we all wanted to ride back together, to have him, he didn't want to ride by himself. So we ended up going down there and taking our time to get down there. And he's like, "Where have you guys been? This hour and a half I've been waiting for you guys." I was like, "Well, we just wanted to kind of just hang out and enjoy the ride, not just fly up there." And
Yeah, he was ready to get there and get his business
and
done.
That's it.
And it took a while coming back because we were going about 60 miles an hour and just trying to get used to everything. And we're over here kind of engine braking around curves, and he's over here going full blast. I'm like, whoa, he's like he took off all the way down there because he's so used to it now, especially in the turns.
Right.
And I did like 4 miles an hour, I guess, is when the tilt lock shuts off. So you have to get used to that.
Between 4 and 7 miles an hour, the tilt lock shuts off. When the tilt lock is engaged and you come up to a stop, it automatically rights the bike upright.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Now that'd cause a problem if your stoplight's in a curve.
Yeah, I know, right?
Not that happens very often, but I mean that would be like, whoa.
Well, it actually goes by the horizon. It doesn't like if you're on a tilt, it's gonna stand up on the tilt.
Wow.
Yeah. What it's like a computer modulated assembly, right? Where it plugs into your system.
It's got a gyroscope sensor on it and some other thing, speed sensors and things like that. The guy that invented this kit holds the world land speed record for 3-wheelers.
Huh. Oh, wow.
And he's, you know, and he did it on one of these kind of bikes.
So when you coming out, Jim? You know, I'm right here by the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Oh, I hear you.
Put on some skinny tires and let's go.
Right.
There you go.
Well, how did you come about? Because were you deciding to make your bike into a trike, or how did you come about with this inverted three-wheeler situation?
Well, I'm 73 now, and I had a 2015 Ultra Limited Low, which is a full dress Harley.
That's heavy.
And the front end started getting a little bit heavy. If you know, I leaned it over a little bit, it wanted to go all the way over, and you know, it's like I didn't want to do that. You know, I don't want to have to pick it up. You know, because if I got by myself, I'd be all day trying to pick it back up.
Oh yeah.
And so I thought, well, you know, I don't want to stop riding because I enjoy it. It's, you know, I've been doing it since 1968, and I don't want to stop doing it. And, you know, I figured that this is going to be my last forever bike. So I went and bought a 2020 Street Glide and bought the kit that goes on it. Now, the kits are not cheap. I've got probably close to $50,000 in my bike.
Wow. So do you think if you were to sell that thing, do you think you would kind of get your money worth, or is it hard to sell something like that, you think?
I'm not going to try to sell it, so I don't know.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying, because remember, like before, when you put that kit on, didn't you see one at one of the dealerships?
Well, there was somebody that said that they tried to sell theirs to the dealership, but the dealership didn't want it. But no matter where I go, whatever Harley dealer, it's like, oh, wow, this is cool.
So did you
imagine it gets a lot of attention, because that's definitely something you don't see.
Yeah,
Exactly.
when we're riding down the street, just, you know, they don't have to even be on a bike. They're just like, whoa, it's a quick turn like this, like, what in the world is going on? It's like they're looking like this and they're driving straight, you know? Like,
So,
wow.
So how I decided to put it on there, you know, having a trike, most of the trikes, you can't lean into the curves. You know, there's not hardly any trikes out there that you can lean into the curves. So I was looking online, and I saw this on there for trikes, and it said front wheel tilting Harley. And so I looked at it, and come to find out the guy that owns the company and builds these is in a place called Snohomish, Washington. Well, it so happens that my wife's sister lives in Snohomish, Washington, and we were going up there for a week on vacation and visit. And so I called the guy up, and he says, come on by the factory and we'll give you a demo ride and tell me what you think. And I did. I went on a demo ride, and I was sold.
So what was it a Harley that you're demo riding, or they just had it? Oh, they did. So you're kind of familiar with the control.
Yeah. So
well, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. So you're happy with it, huh? How many miles you put on it a week now?
Well, when it's not raining, I put 200 or 300 miles a week on it.
I honestly don't think, but I'm kind of joking. But I think since that 2015 was a 103, and I got my new 107, I think he just was kind of, man, he's got a bigger engine than I do. I need to upgrade. But,
hey,
you know,
I've always had a bigger engine than you.
Oh yeah, whatever. So on that, you know, I gotta tell you, and I'll probably post a video on it because I really don't have any videos of my new bike yet. It's in production right now, I guess you can say. But going from a Sportster to a 2000 Dyna is what my dad gave me. I rode that for a little over a year, and then going from that Dyna, I mean the Dyna rode pretty good. You know, it rode better than the Sportster. The Sportster's just so much vibration. Every time you stop, I had to, you know, check the bolts because it was, you know, rattling loose. You know, I had a license plate one time when I was first riding. We got the bike; it was kind of dragging on the ground. As soon as we stopped, you know, we had to tighten everything up. But going from a Dyna to a Street Glide, it's like going from a Nissan to a Cadillac. I mean, it rode so smooth. It's hence the name Street Glide. I mean, it glides from lane to lane, and You just throttle up a little bit, and it has a lot of power to it.
When you went from about a 700-pound bike at the Sportster to a 1,400-pound bike at the Street Glide.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, Street Glide I think is 900 pounds.
Oh, is it only 9? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's between 700 and 900 pounds.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so when I'm
your bike to that Cadillac.
So, when I was, because I had the Sportster in the back of the garage, and I just had stuff piled on there. I had to move everything out, and when I got on the bike, I was just moving around like it was a bicycle. That's how light it was compared to my street.
Sure.
I'm trying to move my big Street Glide out of the way, and I get on that Sportster, and it's like, man, this is like a bicycle. I feel like I can pop wheelies with it. So.
Imagine so. Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing I did buy this week was a camera, so I can do some moto vlogging up through the canyons of Utah. So we'll get that all set up and see how that goes.
Yeah, so maybe some of the shows we can kind of have a, where I've recorded for that day, kind of scenes and talk about the scenes, and then switch over to you and do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
and then, if you want to do it too, Wizard, because normally we ride together. So some, like, if you haven't noticed already, a lot of my videos, he's riding in the front, and I've got him like recorded. So all you see is the back of his head, really. So now you're kind of putting a face to the back of the head, So that's what he looks like from the front side,
And
oh, you got the picture? Okay, there it is.
James, can you see the picture? Can you see? All right, I'm gonna run it.
Go ahead. So this is what the trike looks like, the inverted trike. You talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, look at that. Man,
look at those wheels. And the thing about it is he got to keep all the wheels. So all the front wheel that they took off, I guess all the fenders that was on there, he got to keep. And it's kind of wicked, because if it's on a kickstand, and as soon as you hit that button to bring it up, it's like has a motion of just kind of like moving forward, and it just stays stationary right there, and you can literally get on the corner and rock it back and forth, and it stays, and it's stable.
Look at that. That would be fun. That's for sure. Oh, there it goes. Look at that, standing right up.
Yeah. See, it's just standing up right there. And he can take turns just like we do. It's crazy. It's like,
now, is that a dual disc brake front system?
Yes, it's a dual brake, right, Wizard?
It's a dual front disc.
Yeah, you can see right there. It has like dual on both sides, so his stopping power is a lot faster than what we have. I mean, we have analog brakes on his. In fact, we went to the dealership with this system on there, and it actually gave a code up to him. And so the code was like, well, it was kind of interfering with the modulator, and then the code just disappeared, and it's been running perfect ever since. But I didn't think there was anything wrong with it.
Right. So now, Jim, how does that affect the driving, the turning radius? I mean, how tight of a turn can you take with it? Well, I guess he's going to show me right there, huh?
I mean, like literally, you can probably drag the pegs, I would say, Yeah,
well, it looked like it, that one when he laid it down.
He can take, I'm pretty sure you can go, you can lean just like the other one,
So Don asked, I'm going to get one. How much? Well, it probably starts between 40 and 50 grand and goes up from there. So,
well, the kit, how much was the?
Just send me the money and I'll make sure you get one.
Yeah, there you go. How much was the kit by itself, Wizard?
The kit by itself is right around 17,000.
Okay.
17.
And you can finance
between 14 and 17,000, depending on what extras you want to put on it.
Sure.
So Duane was asking about the turning radius. In your opinion, we saw it on the video, but in your opinion, is it about the same as what it was before you put the kit on?
A little bit wider, but not very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe like 20, 30 degrees more?
Oh, no, not even that.
Not even that.
Wouldn't be that much, huh? I was just curious if that was something you had to get used to, because I mean, having a that wide front, that would be hard for me to get used to at first. Having a a wheelbase that you have to worry about hitting the curb,
No. I can turn around in the street just like you can.
Oh wow, excellent. That's cool.
And you don't have to worry about dumping it over.
Two-way street. I can turn around just like you can.
Because I know the street glides, the street glides with the no matter if it's a street glide or a wide glide, I mean a road glide is what I'm saying. The front end, the fairing is a little front heavy. So when I got my bike, before I even took it on the road, because I was used to the dyno, the radius is a little different. It almost felt like it wanted to dive a little bit.
Yeah.
Not to a point where I was going to go, because at the front of the weight, I just wasn't used to it. But about 5 minutes around the parking lot, and I was just already ready to go,
Sure. Well, and that's the thing, is everybody, it's easy to get used to something. But when you first look at it, thinking, wow, I don't know if I can do that. But then, like you said, ride it around for a half hour and then you get the hang of it.
Yeah, for sure. And then we like, oh, we don't want to go home, so we would end up just going on a 2-hour ride. Angie was expecting me home at a certain time, and I was like, well, why'd you show up about 4 hours later? I was like, well, I had to get used to the bike, good excuse. But what was that?
Oh, Don has a question. Mike was going to say it.
Oh, okay.
Go, Mike.
Yeah,
It's your turn.
she wanted to know, said it's a goofy question, but there's no such thing as a goofy question. She wanted to know if you could pull a tiny trailer, like a mini mini Can-Am with one of those bikes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can pull a trailer just like you can with a two-wheel Harley, except that this is a lot more stable.
Yeah.
Would you have to bolt on a hitch in the back, or how would that work?
Yeah, they make a hitch kit. They make a hitch kit.
But I heard that some of those hitch kits kind of mess with the towing of the bike sometimes. That's what I've heard on some stories, but not for sure. I've never put a hitch on there,
Yeah.
But what I would do, because he has on his street glide, he bought a lot of extras with it, so he has the back trunk, and you can put a lot of stuff in there. So it almost looks like a electric glide that he had, but it's probably how many pounds? Probably 300 or 400 pounds lighter for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't have the
There you
speaker.
go, Don. Just sell your house, buy this setup, buy you a little trailer. You got enough, and just tour the country. Come see us.
Yeah, you can go see Duane in Utah, and then
she's still on her way from a couple of years ago when she said she was coming for Thanksgiving. She said she was gonna,
really?
On the train and head over, but she's still on her way.
Well, how far is it from California to Utah? I don't have any look.
Probably 12-hour drive.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
James, Don wanted to know earlier why you have a southern twang for a Greek guy.
A southern twang because I was born in Texas, Houston, Texas. That's why. Shoot, man, let me tell you here. I throw my twang accent all over the place. Let me tell you. I was born in Texas. That's why.
Yeah, we won't hold that against you.
I know, right? I'm part Italian and part Greek. And I'm like a mutt almost. I think aren't we all, right?
Yeah, Angie says she's supposed to come here first. No, she can't. See, she's got to come through my territory to get to your territory.
Oh, there you go.
Not if she takes 10. I can.
That's going to take 10, and of course, no, she's got to come up my way.
Has to, right?
Yeah, it's a requirement. So yeah, no, that would be fun though. Doing something like that, having like she was talking, throwing a little trailer together and go camping, or hitting the road for an extended trip.
Or even have a kind of a meetup, and have a bunch of people together and kind of meet up, like Shade Tree does. That's another funny guy to watch on YouTube. But he has all these people that meet up with him, and he's so popular on YouTube in the biker community. So just something like that.
So where is Don from?
California.
Sacramento, California.
Where?
Sacramento, California.
Okay. So, if she wants to get one of those kits on her bike, they will ship the bike. They will, let you ship the bike up to their place up in Snohomish, Washington, and they'll ship it back to you, and you go ride and have a lot of fun.
So how did when you were, I know you were talking about this before, just kind of one-on-one when we were first getting that trike, or you were getting that trike. They were, because it's an independent person that put this on. You worked a deal, right, with getting the, because they were going to charge so much at Snohomish, and then we're like, well, I can do it at the same price, right? Or how did that work for you?
Well, the dealer, the Snohomish, it comes out to be the same price. Me taking it to the dealer in Round Rock as to shipping it and doing it up there in Snohomish and back. So, and the benefit of it is I didn't have to wait 3 or 4 weeks for it to come back.
Right.
So.
Right. So now, how does that affect? Since it is a third party, does that affect the Harley
warranty?
Warranty, yeah.
No, it does not, because it's just like if you just changed your front end on a custom front end on your bike. It has nothing to do with the motor and drivetrain.
Okay, I didn't know if they considered that part of the drivetrain being the front, front forks and such.
No, they don't. That's because you can change like your front wheels on there, and put custom wheels on it. That doesn't affect your Harley. Now, here's the drawback. Here's the drawback that if something goes wrong with the front end, I have to take it to the Round Rock dealer and to have it worked on, because Harley's not equipped to work on them.
Right.
Yeah, because they don't have the tech support for that.
Sure.
But the only really problem, well, not mechanical problem you didn't have, but you had an electrical problem at one time, right?
Yeah.
But that was easily fixed by an update on the computer.
Well, no, actually, it threw a code on there that my traction control sensor on the front was not reading right, and I took it into the Harley dealer, and they said, "Well, we don't know what it is." And then a week later, when I was going to take it back in there, I went out and started the bike.
No code, huh?
No code.
Yeah.
There you go.
The only problem I had with my Street Glide so far, and they changed the radio up in 2019 when that bike came out. They went ahead and they had the touchscreen system. It's the upgrade that the radio has. They had buttons on each side. So we ended up getting the bike, and the story behind getting the bike is when I went down to the dealership, I had to wait about a week because they had all the black ones, they had red ones. I didn't want all that, so I wanted the midnight blue. So they had to get the bike all the way from Louisiana to bring it down to Houston. So when I don't know if something got jarred or it just came from the manufacturer like that. Before I took it to onto the street, I walked around, everything looked perfect. I rode it around, didn't have any problems. So I end up putting probably 300 to 400 miles on it, and next thing you know, my radio ends up rebooting itself. I'm like, this is a brand new bike. What's going on? So now the radio is equipped with CarPlay, so you can hook your iPhone up to it, stuff like that. So I maybe figured it was something to do with the USB plugged into the phone. So after we end up stopping, I unplugged my phone, hooked it up to the Bluetooth directly, and played the radio. I was playing iHeart, and went down the road again. And about 10 minutes later, it did the same thing. So I took everything off the Bluetooth. Didn't connect my phone because maybe, I don't know, sometimes, when iPhones need an update, they get kind of hot or a little bit. So I thought that's what it was going to do. So I took everything off, just listened to regular radio, and we were kind of coming up on 290 right there, and there was a dealership right there. My radio got so hot I couldn't even touch it. So I was like, man, and everything was frozen on the screen, and it makes that burr noise like whenever the audio's been interrupted. So we end up taking it in right there. They never seen anything like that before at all. Since this is a brand new radio, they've never, and it's been out 2 years now. They had never had any kind of issue like this. They took all kinds of pictures. They said you need to leave it with us so we can run a diagnostic test on it. So they did. The following weekend, I went down there, picked it up. They couldn't find anything wrong with it to make your radio so hot like they did. So tech support on the phone, actually Harley Davidson said, because these radios are about almost $2,000 each. So they're not just going to hand any kind of radio out to, as a, even though my bike is fully tire, everything is fully warranted. I bought the extended warranty on it. So like, well, what we're going to have to do, because we've never seen this before, is if the guy has a GoPro, you're going to have to record this rebooting itself. Because when it reboots, it would just go straight black. Then it pops up as the Harley Davidson logo. Once it does that, then everything goes back to normal. So it was doing it right at the dealership, but they couldn't, I guess. And it's almost like it had a mind of its own. It would not reboot by itself right when we were trying to record. So every time I was trying to record after that, after we left the dealership, it wouldn't do it. I mean, go figure. So as the weather was changing, it got a little cooler here. In the summer, goes from summer to winter months. It wouldn't do it. Anytime it got a little cool. So the other day, for about, I guess, 3 months now, it didn't do anything. So the other day I rode it to work, and on the way back, it rebooted for the first time again. So now I'm gonna have to start wearing my GoPro, especially going to work now to catch this problem that I have. But other than that, I've had no other issues.
Now, do you put your GoPro? You have a chin mount or handlebar or side, or how do you run your GoPro?
So what I do is I have a half helmet that comes down. My face doesn't have a crossbar to it.
Right, that's what I have too.
So just because, especially in the wintertime, summertime, it's just too hot, and I'll throw my visor up, but it comes down. It just stays open like this. So I have my helmet. I have a mount that has a kind of like a joint that goes back and forth. Because when you get a GoPro or any kind of like a GoPro, you'll have the accessories that just won't twist right. So with this one, I have. Hold on, let me bring him up. There he is. I don't know where he went. So the joint, it moves where I can just go back and forth, up and down, and I have it straight up on the side like this on the right here basically,
you have
and it's pointing down. So I kind of used the GoPro app that it came with, and it was just always facing too much this way, so it almost got everything to the right too much, even at a wide angle. So when I bought that, if you look on my other video, it shows that that adapter that I bought for the GoPro.
Yeah, I saw that.
So funny thing is, on eBay, all that Japanese stuff before the coronavirus came in, how they're trying to flood all these cheap knockoffs on eBay, right, compared to US sellers. So they had it on there for 99 cents with $1 shipping, and those things go for $8 to $9. So I ended up winning the 99-cent bid, and they kind of seemed like they kind of got pissed about it because I won it because nobody else bid on it. It's supposed to be up to $8 to $9, and they're like, they sent me an email saying, well, you got it at this price, I'm gonna have to honor it. I was like, yeah, you are. I'm gonna give you a strike, on eBay.
Exactly.
And so I ended up getting that jig setup that I have right there for $2, and it was supposed to be a $10 item.
Yeah,
but that's what I use, and it's posted on my channel. But that and I had it on the Dyna. I had it on the handlebars, and it worked pretty good. The problem with that, I was using an old GoPro 3, which didn't have stabilization.
Right.
So I have a new 8 now, and it has a built-in stabilization on there. So even though I don't run it on my handlebars anymore, I have it on my head, so I can literally move my head around, and it stays pretty straight. So didn't you just buy a camera too, right? What kind of did you get?
Yeah. I just bought a cheaper camera because I'm just starting out, and I honestly didn't want to foot the bill for a big, for a $200 $1,500 camera when I'm just starting. So I read up on this one that I'm getting. I'm getting an Ape Man A79.
Okay.
And looks like it'll do everything I want it to. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best because I also have an open face helmet with a visor.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about actually mounting mine on the bottom of my visor,
Oh.
so it'll almost be at chin height.
Right.
For that, but like you said, you know, if it gets too hot, then I'm kind of screwed. But
yeah,
we'll figure it out. I'm gonna mess around with it and do some stuff and see what comes up best.
I was kind of, I was checking out that GoPro 8, and it comes with the stickies, the double-sided tapes, and I'm pretty sure like almost every action camera now comes with the double-sided tape. And I was kind of worried about it when I was sticking it on my helmet, but that thing is pretty solid, and I haven't had any kind of problems with it, so.
So yeah, that's the plan. We'll get that mounted up when it comes in and do some.
What does it shoot 1080?
I did a quick ride today. It was about just a little 10-mile ride.
I didn't even get to go out today because it's been raining.
It's just getting warm enough that I can go out. So and I was sick all week, so my wife wouldn't let me go.
Oh man!
Today was a
shoot all week
for a bit.
So does it shoot in 1080 or 4K or what kind of format?
It does both. It does it. The one that I got is at 1080 at 60 frames a second or 4K at 30.
Yeah.
So, and I was told I heard, I watched a bunch of stuff on it, and they say that 60 frames per second is actually better for being on the bike because of the, the speed you're going and stuff.
Right.
But, you can run it at 30. So I'm not sure. I'll play around and see whether the 4K looks better or, if I'm up on the freeway or something, if it's better to do 1080.
So what did you get an SD card? How big of a SD card did you get?
I can't remember whether it's 32 gig or 64.
Okay. Well, the reason why I was asking because I'm not sure if you know about formats and stuff like that. So like if you shoot in 4K or no matter if it's 30 or 60, depending on what your format is. But it's always good if you like you're putting on YouTube, let's say it's 1080, it's always better to downsample 4K to 1080 because that actually looks better than standard 1080p. I don't know if you know that or not.
I didn't. Yeah,
so I know that through.
I'm kind of new to the whole, camera.
So always downsampling, right? Because you're just taking millions of pixels now that are 4K and shrinking them down, and they just look probably 10 to 20 times better than a standard 1080.
Right.
So that's just something to remember if you have the card or not to do that.
So Finley River Kennels, what kind of dogs do you raise?
Mutts? No. Some kind of dogs, right?
Yeah, they're the best kind of dog.
I'm just curious because I saw the kennels.
Oh, they're actually in I think they are in Cypress, Texas. They're just down the street from us.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. That's another little Houston area because we're all branched out like that.
Right. That's
I think last week.
Right?
What's that?
Isn't that where Kathleen lives up that way?
Yeah, exactly. And funny thing that you say that, Kathleen, well, we live, or actually I work off of 290 area, just going down past 290. And she lives probably about, I would say, half a mile from my work. So,
nice.
So when Mike would sell the jewelry or whatever, through you, I would take it to work and be all nice and packaged, and then I would just go about a half mile to her house and deliver the package, free shipping kind of thing, So
nice.
And that's when I first went over to drop off stuff like that, and she saw me. We started talking about bikes, and Angie's like, "Wow, why did it take so long to come home?" I was like, "Well, we were talking about bikes, and they have two. Her husband used to ride, has two bikes in the garage, so
yeah,
and that's kind of we just started talking from there, So, and she makes some really cool jewelry too. She showed me her setup and how she makes it, and I was trying to set up her StreamYard when it was brand new at that time, and got her set up on the camera and how to log into YouTube because she was trying to
Yeah,
do a
I
YouTube.
remember.
Oh yeah,
I called
because you.
guys. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to help Kathleen. Is there? I don't know how close she lives to you, but is there a way you could go over there and help her?
Yeah, so after work, I spent 30, 45 minutes over there and helping her. She caught on it real quick and this is easy. So
Yeah, it's just hard to do over the phone for sure.
yeah, I don't know how.
That's just kind of part of the biker's code that we help each other. It's like when you're riding with somebody in a group. I learned this many years ago. You're riding with somebody in a group. Somebody breaks down, everybody stops.
Yeah.
Funny thing that you said that.
Or you do that. We've had people that we've known that we've ridden with, and it's like, well, we're going to go on. It's like, go on. You're not a real biker, because a real biker doesn't leave anybody behind. It's kind of like the military. You don't leave anybody behind. If somebody's got a problem, we all have the same problem.
Well, just like we went on a Galveston rally ride, or it wasn't a rally. We just went to Galveston, but we went the long way off of down 36. And one of the guys that we were riding with, I guess one of his screws came out of his air breather, and it was popping, making all kinds of noises. It was like, arr. So we pulled over and we all stopped, and we made shift what we could do. And all the way home, he was riding on one screw and we made it home, but we stopped. Same thing with when I had the Dyna, the belt, my dry belt I ended up riding it, and then all of a sudden my dry belt just kept slipping. So all the teeth on the bottom of the dry belt were almost gone. So it would have a section of like maybe 10 teeth and then missing 2 and then another 20 teeth. So it would go right. So I was probably a good 5 miles home and then completely just went out and I couldn't go anywhere. So I ended up pulling into the neighborhood. There was about 4 or 5 bikes that would go by and they would literally turn around and stop and pull over and say, "Hey, are you okay, man? What's going on?" And at that time, my neighbor that I ride with, he had a trailer. So I was like, "Oh, my neighbor's coming, man. I appreciate it." And there was people that were coming out of the neighborhood that would stop and say, "Hey, man, are you okay?" I mean, so there are some good people out there too. Not just bikers, but there was cars actually stopping, that were, that when I was broke down like that. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." I was just sitting on the side right there.
Let's change the subject just for a second about the coronavirus. I hope everybody stays safe with the coronavirus. Here's a couple of things you do. If you have the hand sanitizer, put it on your hands whenever you can. But whenever you go to touch a shopping cart, even though that they say they've cleaned them, I put the hand sanitizer on there and I run it just like this across the cart, across the handles. If I touch something, whatever, I put hand sanitizer on. I want you guys to stay safe and stay well. We're going to get through this coronavirus.
Yep, that's for sure. Amen to that. It might hurt our pocketbooks, right now, but we can always bounce back. We always do as a nation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I mean, all the people that are, all the nurses, I want to thank them too, for being in the front and being in front of all those sick people like that. They're the ones that are most vulnerable. Everybody, EMS, everybody.
Yep. We shout out to all our law enforcement, shout out to all our healthcare workers and the doctors and nurses that are on that front line trying to find a cure for this and to get it. It's got about a 2% mortality rate. Okay. Now that doesn't sound very good, but when you look at it the opposite way, it's a 90%, 98% survival rate.
That's a good rate for sure. So guys, do you have any more questions here? We're coming up on the hour. Get them in now while we can. We'll give ourselves about a couple more minutes. If you guys have any more questions.
And one thing Mike said last, I think it was last week. I can't even remember if we were live when he said it, but whether you ride a Triumph, a Harley, a Honda, a Suzuki, it doesn't matter. 2 wheels are 2 wheels, and And at any time, you know, I've been on the side of the road with my bike, and somebody will stop on, you know, some bullet bike. You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, 2 wheels are 2 wheels.
That's right. Sometimes they're 3 wheels.
Yeah, you're
Weird guys.
okay.
3-wheel thing. So
Especially if they're old.
we'll put you in there.
Yeah, that's it.
And I want to, you know, tell everyone here on this channel is just not all about Harleys. You know, we can talk about Hondas. I mean, anything you can think of as far as
Hey,
motorcycle
Suzuki.
wise. Yeah, Suzuki's, everything. Oh, Suzuki! I hope I didn't interfere anyone there. You know.
Yeah. So
I
As
think
an
what
old
it is,
school biker, I've owned them all.
Well, didn't you? When I was growing up, I remember maybe when I was 11 or so. Didn't you have the Vargo, the Honda
Yeah.
Vargo?
I had a Honda. Yeah, I had a Honda Virago.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, it doesn't matter what you ride. If it's 2 wheels, that's it. You know.
yeah, I've owned a Yamaha and a Suzuki. So,
I think, guys, what it is it's breaking the stigma of the word biker. Everybody, when I was growing up, it was all these crazy ass choppers, king and queen seats, and it was, you know, the law against the bike. Anybody that rode a bike were bikers, and then people think of the 1%ers, which is a very small community, you know. And when you use the word biker now, the first thing, it doesn't matter what you ride. If they see tattoos, they think of tattoos, raising hell, getting in bar fights, and doing crazy, stupid stuff. And like, you know, Duane had highlighted on, it's, you know, a lot of us are family fathers. You know, we're family men. We raise our kids. We support our families and pay our bills. And
That's
part
right.
of the community, you know, we're not this, you know, biker trash like where the stigmas come from so many years ago. The thing that I have noticed since the last time I rode, which was in 2005, posers always still seem to be around.
That's for sure.
You can smell, you can tell them when they're coming up. We used to go out riding. You could tell them when they were coming up. You could smell the brand new leather and be blinded by the shiny chrome. And buddy is in, you know, there's some of them still had the price tags on the leathers when they were riding.
What I don't get, you know, and this could be another topic too for next Saturday, is like I see these guys all the time riding in shorts and a tank top. Like I'm like, what is wrong with you? You know, on a crotch rocket.
Yeah, the tennis shoes, tank top, and shorts is not a biker attitude.
And they're over there popping willies on the streets. You know, I'm like, come on now. And you know, and probably next week I'm gonna show that Instagram video that I showed you guys, and it is hilarious. The guy's popping a wheelie on a Sportster, you know what I mean? And he hits that one quick break and he's gone. But you know, that's another story for next week. But
okay. Well, all you new people, just be sure to subscribe to Texasrider, and we're gonna do this again soon, I hope.
Well, for everyone, you know, Mothership Products, subscribe to, you know, his channel. He has some great content.
That's right.
Content. Wizard just set up. I just set his YouTube channel. It's called, what is it called? Wizard World. And then, of course, Biker's Basement. You know.
Yeah, but I'll be putting on some bike stuff on my channel. I don't think I'm gonna do another channel. I think I'm just gonna add it to the channel I already got.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, you know, and you can always set up a playlist, right? For like, let's say you just for bike related stuff, you can just add a playlist to that, and people will go on there. So, you know, and that would be a good combination of you know, like biker stuff and then storage units, you know. So who's to say you might get something in storage?
The way I figure it, my channel is me. That's what I do. I do storage units over on this side. I ride my bike over here. I mean, that's just who I am. So I'm
right.
And all you bikers here in the Houston area, South Texas area, I also happen to be a licensed auctioneer, and I donate my time to charities free of charge. You know, that if you need to raise some money for charities, get in touch with me, and I'll donate my time.
Yes, sir. Amen.
Very good.
But okay, guys, you stay safe and stay home if you can. We thank you, everyone, for coming in and kind of hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Peace out.